Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am so excited today. Janie was supposed to join me today, but bless her, she's had second thoughts, but she's got to join me on tomorrow because we're actually doing a quiz with Ale and Audio. So she said, well, I'll do that. But bless her, she didn't want to be in front of the camera, unlike this idiot. But anyway, it brings me massive pleasure after having a few beers and having the confidence to ask if Paul and Michelle would join me on the channel from Rate My Beer. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this lovely couple, Paul, PJT, and Michelle. Hey! How are we doing? Good evening.
Glad to be
here. Yeah. No, thanks for inviting us on and having us on.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolute pleasure. It's my pleasure because, like I say, I'm just a little small channel, just building, and you guys, I really sort of like, in awe of you being here on the channel with me.
Well, we all started off small. You got to start somewhere, and you're doing a great job. So just keep at it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. So we were just talking about nervousness, weren't we? And Michelle, you were nervous, weren't you?
Absolutely. When we first started this, I was a nervous wreck going in front of the camera. I really did feel uncomfortable with it.
It can get hard, can't it? Because you kind of, it's one of them things where you overthink it.
Yeah.
And you panic when there's nothing to panic about.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing a recording,
it's just chat, isn't it?
Yeah. No one's going to see it if you don't want them to. So you kind of overthink a lot, don't you?
Yeah, it is mad. But yeah, bless her. I mean, the reason I wanted her to sort of join us as well is she's just discovered stouts. She had the Northern Monk Black Forest Gatto Stout, and then we had the Yonder one, and she really liked them. And she's ordered loads of stouts, and she's been drinking all these really good quality sort of pastry stouts. And I was like, you could have a stout, and we could chat about that. But she just, no, bless her. But she's a really outgoing person, but just not in front of the camera like this.
I understand. It's one of them
things. It is one of those things. It is nerve-wracking when you're not used to it. It really is nerve-wracking.
One day she'll probably do one, and then she'll want to do them all the time.
Yeah.
It's one of them type of things.
Especially with the stouts. Stouts are brilliant because there is so much to talk about. Some of those big, bold flavours that you get in stouts are just amazing.
Yeah, they are, in there, absolutely. She loves the real chocolatey stouts. And I'd actually ordered some beer from Hackney Church, but bless them, it's not their fault. They're normally really good. It's my fault, left it too late. But there was their stout in there that you spoke about the other day. And
yes, a good one. It wasn't too heavy. It wasn't too strong, which sometimes you don't want them big hitters all the time because they just knock you out. And if you enjoy a stout, sometimes you want something that's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, I get that. Obviously, I'm not really a stout man, if I'm honest with you, but I actually haven't minded the last two from them, have I?
Yeah, you've been quite adventurous in trying things, and you found that you did quite enjoy those two, didn't you?
Yeah, talking of
you like your Vice beers, don't you, Paul?
Yeah. Prominently, I'm a Vice and beer fan. I can't see because of the lighting. I'm trying to see what the volume is. I think it's about 5.3 or 5.4. That's the tropical sour.
Oh, right. I have got that, but I'm a little bit scared of it. I'm a little bit because I've never really had sours. It's a style that I've never really got into. But I don't know whether to. You know how you've actually got that. Shall I get the one? Because I was going to start with this, the saison, but I've actually got that sour in the fridge. Shall I get it and drink it as a everyone set?
It's a cracker, honestly.
Yeah.
On this one, Covenant.
It's a good time to.
This is a beauty, mate. This is. I've had. Fortunately, I've had a few of these. I've got quite a few of these.
Yeah.
Right then. We were just talking about, I didn't realise this was sort of an old style Hackney Church glass then, wasn't it? Just because you've got the newer one. Just you were talking about that, weren't you? This ain't got a nucleation.
That's it, yeah. That's the only difference. I just prefer.
You really do enjoy using that glass,
that one,
you?
Yeah.
Wow, look at
Yeah,
that.
they're a great brewery. I mean, we were only up there last Friday again.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've met them a few times now, which has been really fortunate. You know, it was all by accident. It was only because it was an East London brewery and we were doing a beer show. I wanted to interview someone, and
All right.
I thought back to my younger days, and he's 17, and that's how I picked Hackney Church Brewery, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
right.
just kind of randomly bought a selection of beers, and to be fair, I wasn't really expecting a lot. And
No, we weren't at all, if we're honest. We thought,
the first one we ever tried was Halo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, an English brewery doing a Hellies. I thought, is this going to work? I'd probably not. And I tasted it, and I was absolutely blown away by how good it was. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting it to be so good.
Is that the Halo?
Yeah. And it was for me, it's an English brewer brewing German style beer and actually doing a really good job of it. So yeah.
Well, that is exactly how I got into Hackney Church as well, because Mark from the Craft Beer Hub reviewed that Halo. I'm sure it was Mark.
Yeah, I remember Mark. Yeah. We met Mark as well a couple of times. Yeah, because I sent that to Hackney Church Brewing because I heard his review and I was like, Jesus, he was like really shouting it up. And obviously, I'd met Mark at a couple of beer festivals. So I said to Hamish, the owner, I said, you've got to listen to this, mate, and send this to Jacob. Because this is like Jacob's obviously the head brewer. And I was like, Jesus. And they were like, wow. But yeah.
Well, I tried it the same from his review, and I thought, whoa, exactly what you said, Michelle, like, you know, an English brewer brewing a German style lager, absolutely amazing.
And getting it right.
Yeah, it is. It's the getting it right part, and unfortunately, not a lot of people do. But Jacob just seems to work his magic with these beers, doesn't he?
They do. I mean, hopefully in the coming months, we're going to do something with Hackney Church because it's something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, and
it obviously because they've got a lot of things running through. They're doing some collabs at the moment. I remember they got limited brewing. It was something we'd hoped to get going by now, but it's there if you see what I mean. But
yeah, the idea is there. They've got to wait for the space and the time, and they've only got so many brewing tanks, so their commitments they've got at the moment they've got to work through. But yeah, the collaboration.
Yeah, just to rate my beer on a can of beer, I'm made up.
Oh, right. Are you going to brew a beer with them, like with your give some of your ideas?
Yeah, we've got everything. Decided.
The ideas are in place, and it's sort of been decided what's going to be done.
It's just a matter of when and where.
Yeah, when there's the time and the space really for them to do it.
So yeah, it's just for us. It's something we've always wanted to do, and he's going to let me video the brewing process and everything.
So what style of beer are you going for then? What type of? Because I think you could literally throw any style of beer at them, and is it Jacob the brewer? And he'll just go, not a problem.
Yeah,
not a problem.
Well, of course.
Yeah, because obviously I wanted to go for. I don't mind it. You mind me saying anyway, really. I wanted to go for a Weizen beer, but I wanted to put a twist on it. And we got talking through email and exchanging everything. And what we're actually going to probably go for now, it's not 100%, is it? But I would say that what would be a Weizen Bock.
Which, a dog?
It's a Weizen Bock.
Oh, Bock,
not a hugely well-known beer because the problem is with half of them, you can't get hold of them.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know any English brewery that have actually done a Weizen Bock
like this. So.
No.
And it's going to be, funny enough, like this sour with a pineapple twist.
Oh, wow.
So a Weizen Bock with a pineapple twist. It's it is ambitious. It's like Paul says, out of the ordinary. It's not something you're going to come across every day. So it's a really exciting prospect.
Well, let's face it, there's a load of out of the ordinary beers these days. I mean, you know, they're doing there's even stouts that are quite hoppy now, really hoppy, you know, and what other sort of like that? The other Hackney Church one where they're doing lager yeast brewed at sort of like ale temperatures, fermented ale
Yeah.
temperatures, things like that. So yeah, why not? Beer is beer. Yeah. So tell me about this beer then, because you know more about it than me.
It
And
is. I mean, obviously, it's a pineapple.
yeah,
In Kiwi Ale, you get pineapple prominently. You should do. That's what we do in Smyrna.
Yeah.
It's just an absolute cracker. It's not
it
got.
almost looks like a pineapple juice, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
and
It's got a lovely haziness to it.
The fruit that you're getting as it flows through is just wow.
Oh my god! Wow,
And
yeah.
that lovely sour bite at the end.
Oh.
Not too harsh, but it's there and it's prominently there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think for me, what put me off about sours is I went into a pub and I had a sour. I won't mention the brewery, but I had a sour, and we both, three of us, took it back. I didn't realise it was a sour actually. We just said, "Oh, we'll have that beer." And I took it back. We drank it and thought, "Oh my days, what is this? This is proper off." And we took it back and we went, "Oh mate, I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry. I think this is off." He went, "No. It says actually I will mention it was Brewdog." And I said, "No, it's not off. It's a sour." And I was like, "Oh, crikey, sorry, we didn't realise." He went, "Look, no problem. If you don't like it, we'll get you 3 more." And literally, they took them 3 offers and gave us 3 more different pints, which I thought were brilliant. But it was so sour.
That's a sour when it does that.
Yeah, you have varying degrees of sourness in sour beers. We've become quite immune to the sourness now. We can do the really sour ones, and
we love them, don't we?
Yeah, you still screw up your face, but you're quite happy drinking it. This is a little bit more moderate on the sour, but you've got a lot of fruit there, which complements that sour kick at the end.
Yeah, that is a really nice fruit. That I could literally drink that straight down. It's
It's the trouble is now as well with a lot of sours. You get sour smoothies, and they haven't got no sourness. And
they are literally like
they're lovely
sweet smoothie, aren't they?
A smoothie with alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they get a sour expecting the sour hit, and then can't work out why they don't get the sour hit.
Yeah. Well, I've had a pastry sour because I was talking to Lou at the Tap and Barrel, and she said, "Don't you like sours? Oh, try this pastry sour just to get you sort of into it." So that had that nice sort of creaminess about it, and a little bit less of that sort of soury, tarty type of taste. But that's literally the first proper, say, sour that I've had. And well, it's Hackney Church Brewery. It's going to be probably the best sour that you can buy.
Well, I had a lot of that, mustn't it?
It really is. We've tried a lot of different sours. You're really quite into them, aren't you? We do find with people, they are a bit Marmite. People either kind of love them or hate them because it is quite a unique taste. But you really go mad on them, and it's one of the best that you've ever had. That's
one of my top ones. That is.
Definitely.
I was like, wow, when we tasted it. The only unfortunate thing is, remember the next sour he does, we might be doing 2. He said, didn't he? I think with the sours. But remember, he always changes something round to keep it interesting. Because although it's not one of the core range, they always do sours. Because a lot of breweries won't, will they?
No,
because obviously they're not top sellers. Although they've become a lot more popular, but he'll always change something round. So it's interesting, It's something different again.
Yeah,
but
a lot of these things are a limited run, aren't they?
Yeah. I just knew that sort of like when I tried that Halo, I mean, I ordered sort of like a batch of beer. I can't remember if I did a mixed case or whatever, and I tried that Halo. I thought, wow, that is absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe it because there's a lot of people go, British brewers doing lager, not a chance. Well, that's
it's
oh god.
It's risky because we've had so many. I mean, there's so many reviews where I've just panned them so badly, and I said to Michelle, "It's a British business. I don't think we should put that out."
We don't actually put it out. If we've been really sort of, that beer is just not good.
I've scored it like 0 on a scorecard, and I think that's a bit out of order. It's just my opinion.
It's a smaller brewery. We're just not going to put that video out. We don't want to do that to people.
No, because it's just a
business,
subjective opinion that's not always right. Just because I don't like it or Michelle don't like it, you might think, "Wow, this is lovely."
So,
yeah. Well, I've talked a few times about a few beers, sort of saying this is a beer where I need a panel of, I don't know why I say 7, probably it's my lucky number. I say a panel of 7 people, like 7 people sat around all with the same beer, and just say, right, what are you smelling out of that beer? And you probably, each one's going to get a different nose, probably, because you know there's so many aromas in beer, isn't there? You know, and the same with the taste, and like you say, it's all subjective, isn't it? You know. It really is.
I tend to go into the review with just the idea of kind of just explaining what I'm tasting, what the flavours in that beer are. So people can make up their own choice. Oh, yeah, I like that particular flavour, so that might be for me. So they've got a better idea of what they want to spend their money on.
Yeah, a lot of them, well, they know with me, if it's not Weizenbier, sours and pills, half the time I'm not that interested. But they know with you, a lot of them will follow and listen to what Michelle says because they've got similar taste.
I'm the type of person who really does love a bit of variety. So, I mean, tonight I'm drinking the Covenant New England IPA from Hackney Church. Sorry, I'm not on the right camera. Right, there we go.
Oh, so now that's in my order pack that's coming on Monday.
You're in for a treat. That is amazing.
That's a beauty again, as expected.
How's that one compared to the what's in the box? That is it. The 7. What's in the box? That's a New England.
Yeah.
That's very good as well. I think with this particular one, with the Covenant, what I really like about it is the balance of it. Sometimes I find with the New England IPAs, they can be overly hoppy at the end to the point where it just rides out every other flavour in the beer, which is a very nice balance for me. I do like hoppiness, but I need it to be balanced out with the other flavours. And this has just got wonderful balance to it.
It just delivers so much to me. Yeah. It comes to the point with Jacob where you kind of think he's going to do it again. You know, it's great. You know, it's great that they're doing something. It's great for us. Obviously, at some point, maybe this year we'll move like up to further north. But why we can literally get 2 trains from our house and go there, it's even better on the pump, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to make a point when we got some time to sort of like make a trip down that end of the world and you know, stop overnight, go down Hackney Church, and you know, have a good old session there, and then wander back. How far is it from sort of like I don't know, centre of London? If you stopped in the centre of London, how long would it take to get to Hackney Church on a tube or something?
The tube station is just literally moments around the corner, isn't it? So
it's so easy to get around London, isn't it?
So you jump on the tube and
a bit harder to get back when you're kind of pickled, but
if you're getting a few tubes, you might not want to have too many beers because it gets a bit confusing. But it's like I say, get on that tube and you're just literally there around the corner, aren't you, from tube stations?
Yeah, no, it's great.
And it's a lovely tap room, isn't it? It really is unique, the building and everything under those arches.
Yeah, and when you go up to the till, do my trick and say, I rate my beer 25 as my discount code.
Well, the funny thing is about that is when you said that you'd come and chat with me on here, I was so excited. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to order some Hackney Church beer. I knew I got some in, but I thought I'm going to order some, so I've got some of the new ones, especially the stout, that one that you've got there, that New England IPA, and when I went on, I ordered it. Click. Thank you for your order, Bush. Done. And then I thought, oh, rate my beer 25. I forgot to write because I'd seen it on the video and I forgot to bloody put it in. So I went back on and ordered I'm putting about 50 quid's worth of beer and put that in, and it generally gets you 25% off, doesn't it?
Brilliant of them to do that for us. Because when I first met them, I said, look, I would love to to shout out about your stuff, but when I shout out about something in beer groups on Facebook, I have to give them something to gain their interest.
Yeah.
Because they'll just otherwise they'll say, oh no, they're just his friends. Because obviously a lot of people know that we get on really well with them. We went to Lithuania to a beer festival to support them at a beer festival, and otherwise everyone will just think it's all a con. So if you can get something back, and I was expecting 10-15%. When he said, how does 25%? I'm like, Hamish, this is brilliant.
They're gonna love it.
And it's obviously, it was a one-off code. But then I said to everyone, You use it once, just use a different email. You can do it again, and they've actually done it for us now that it can be used multiple times through the same email.
Wow, that's absolutely
Which is
fantastic.
great stuff. Yeah,
I think I'd done their heads in through ordering for about 6 different emails, so I kept getting my 25%.
Well, I think it really is you guys that have really sort of like taught me Hackney Church. You know what I mean? It's like you really do rave about it, and I rave about it as well. When I had that Superfly, the West Coast IPA, I literally thought that is honestly the best West Coast IPA, and I can't remember what I said. I think I said something about everyone's going to be a win. Everyone's a winner. And then I had the I think the Oregon Trail from Elusive Brewery. I've got to make sure I quote that right. Now, apparently, that is supposed to be the best West Coast IPA in the world. It's almost like that putty that's hyped up quite big, and I hadn't heard about it. So I had the Oregon Trail, and I thought to myself, oh no, that is banging. That is really amazing. It can't be better than my favorite West Coast. So then what I did is I picked them both against one another. And I would have been honest. I would have said, oh God, Superfly, I'm so sorry, Hackney Church, but this has just for me.
Beaten,
that's the same. No, it was basically that one and that one. Both were fantastic, but they were both they were different. They were their own individual. They were like just brothers, you know what I mean? They were same style, same everything. But have you had the Oregon Trail as well?
We had something else we did against Hackney Church, and it was so hard to differentiate.
They were both fantastic.
And it was a North London brewery. I can't remember the name of them now.
Yeah, God, we've done so many. I forget. You're usually.
I know, it's my age, my brain's going on me.
I know, I'm the same, mate.
I can't remember, but do you remember the ones? I mean, it was a North London brewery. And we were going to go up there. But what it was, I said to her, they haven't got a Weizen beer. The sours come and go. I said, no, I'm better off the way I am. Otherwise, I'll be trying to have a few in Hackney, have a few up there, then going back, and I'll be like, I'm getting really hammered, won't I?
Yeah, it can happen.
It's great. When you go down there, let us know. Obviously, if we're here, we'll come up and meet you, and Jacob and that. Jacob will come out and have a chat to you.
Yeah.
You know, and they really do. If they've got the time, especially in the daytime, normally, isn't it? Jacob and Hamish, it's crazy because obviously Hamish is the managing director, and he's such a lovely bloke. And I thought he was just a staff. I didn't realise he was like the director.
Down to a lovely, lovely guy. The same with Jacob. He's got so much time for people. He likes to explain what he's doing and talk about his beers and things. Both absolutely wonderful blokes, and as are all their staff there.
Yeah, they're
really lovely people. Which happens to just be a bonus because the beer was so great. I was always going to shout about it because if I find something that's really good, I want everyone to know about it. And then
that's the whole idea of the channel, isn't it? That's what it's all about. The channel is about.
And then to find the people behind the beer are absolutely wonderful people is a great bonus.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny how things like that. Things like that happen. It's funny how things like that happen because my stepson bought me a little 3-pack of beer from Panther Brewery, and in there was a red best bitter, 4.1%, something like that. Anyway, I went round my dad's, and he isn't drinking in a minute, but I said I brought a few beers round, and he says to me, "Oh, I'll pour you next beer, son." So he poured this beer, and he came in and he says to me, "Oh my God, is this beer all right? It's got like all bits in it and like things floating around in it." I was like, yeah. It's a bottle fermented beer. You know, it's a bottle conditioned beer, basically. Excuse me, I've got this bloody cough. It's awful. And so anyway, I drank that, and for just after all the craft beers and all the crazy hot beers and everything I've been drinking, just to go back to a traditional, nice best bitter with all that yeastiness, and it was quite hoppy as well. It was a fantastic beer. Anyway, I reviewed it, I talked about it, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't sort of score beers because I can never sort of remember. And but if I think it's banging, I'm like, oh, it's Speno 10 out of 10. And the brewery, basically, I ordered 12 more, and they got in contact with me. Well, I tagged them in it, and they sort of said, "Oh, brilliant! I loved your review. Can we share it on our socials?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course you can, absolutely." So they shared it, and then the next thing, Martin spoke to me because I'd rang him up because actually he'd forgot, bless him, he'd forgot to put the order on. So the beer was late, and he was like, "Oh God, I'm really sorry. Got your order, but I forgot to actually press click and it gets sent." Well, anyway, they sent it me next day. And he said, "Oh, I loved your reviews, absolutely fantastic. I'd like to, like, because I said I'm going to buy a load more beers off you to try them all." He said, "Oh, I'd like to give you like all this discount and everything else." And I went, "Actually, it's not what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for the love of these breweries that brew the beer, because with us sharing that, it keeps them brewing the beer, it keeps people buying the beer, and it keeps us drinking this fantastic beer, doesn't it?" And that's for me is what it's all about. But he says, "No, I will give you some discount." But it's not for us. It's not. We're not trying to do that, are we? We're not trying to get them to give us any cheap beer or anything like that.
It's for me. It's just so that people get the opportunity to kind of taste what I believe to be some of the best beers that are out there that are available to buy. I want people to really enjoy the beer that they're spending their hard-earned money on. So if something's really good, I'd like to push it for that reason.
Well, yeah, the good thing is, like, say with Hackney, for argument's sake, what the quicker it sells, the more different things you're getting. And he's always creative, isn't he?
I don't know where he gets his inspiration from, but Jacob's got one of those creative minds. He's always thinking about doing something different and how he can make the beer extra special. And
he's a perfectionist.
He is very much a perfectionist.
How old is he? What age group is he?
Oh God, I can't remember.
They have told us before, haven't they?
A bit younger than us.
Yeah, definitely younger than us. So that's for sure.
A bit younger than us. I think he's sort of
early 30s, I think.
Early 30s.
Yeah, I was just because you tend to get that a lot of some of the great brewers, master brewers now that are out there are not sort of like old and been doing it all their lives. They're new and fresh, and they've got all them ideas, and you know, and they really are bringing that real design idea to the beer, isn't they?
We found a lot of that in Lithuania, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because they just didn't like the beer choices that they had there. A lot of the people who wanted great beer, they were brewing their own beer because they wanted something better than what they could buy. And that's how the craft beer scene sort of really came around there in Lithuania. And you get some wonderful things there, don't you? Wonderful beers.
Yeah, we was just reviewing a French beer today, weren't we?
Oh, that was good.
And it was another cracker. And I said that people just forget about French. They think the French is just wine. When the craft beer scene is actually nice. I mean, the couple of days we spent there, we got a cheap Eurostar tickets, didn't we?
Yeah.
A quite dodgy hotel, but it was all right, wasn't it?
It was a budget hotel.
We met some cracking people there.
Clean. That was the main thing.
Didn't we? Which was absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely lovely place. Really, really would like to go back there and spend some more time.
Yeah, but once you got drinking in the bars, it was none too cheap if you weren't careful, was it?
Oh, I was absolutely amazed at that. Is it the Delirium bar? I was amazed with all them because that Delirium is a Belgian beer, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Is it like got that pinky like type label with the elephant on it?
Pink elephant, it's a pink elephant.
We've got one of them here somewhere.
Yeah, we've got their actual pink.
I don't know where it is, but we got a pink elephant here because we were absolutely crazy on Delirium.
Yeah.
But I was getting too hammered on it and didn't know where I was, and I stopped drinking. I didn't drink one, did I, that night with you? I said, "Oh, I can't do that because it's 8% and it just gets me, doesn't it? Because it's actually so nice. But you see, I'll drink it like I would
4 or 5% beer.
Yeah.
Because it tastes so good, you're just drinking it like you would normally, and before you know it,
before you know it, you're getting hurt, aren't you, if you drink too much?
Yeah, I mean, and it's never the intention to, is it? It's always like, I always say, I don't go out to get drunk. I don't sort of go, right, do you know what? I'm going out on the piss. I'm going to get absolutely steaming. I don't do that. But what you do is you go, like, say at the Tap and Barrel last night, you go, oh, that beer looks really nice. Oh, it's only 6.7%. It's fine. I'll have that. You drink that. Oh, I'll have another one there. Oh, what's 7? That'll be all right. And then before you know it, you're just drinking some really nice beer, and and then you wake up in bed the next morning and wonder how you got
You
there.
can't remember.
What
Yeah.
happened there?
Well, I said to you, didn't I? I said, well, look, you have one of them because that's her favourite delirium.
Oh, the delirium red. I just love that stuff.
I said,
yeah.
you know, because we're always cautious when we're somewhere else in case the two of us are really hammered and you get robbed or something. I said, well, you drink that, you know, I've got your back. But then, because she's drinking it slowly, by the time she's drank that, I've drank 2 pints of normal Weizenbier, and I'm like, this isn't going to plan here. It don't always work, does it? We have the idea.
Delirium Red was absolutely wonderful. I was so glad to actually have that.
Yeah.
But I was very aware that that's a really strong beer. I've got to be careful with this.
Well, then we went back to the room, innit? Because we said, well, we were tired, obviously, where we'd been up since 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we'd had 3 strong beers each. Well, I'd had 4, hadn't I? But and then we went back to the hotel room. Thought, oh, we'll just have 1 or 2 Kronenberg Blancs because we didn't have a fridge because it was a budget room. I realised you could leave them outside in the flower pot and chill your beers.
It worked.
And it worked. Of course, we ended up drinking 15 bottles of Blanc when we got back. When we were drinking 1 each, what I could never understand, I meant to say to you about that night is, how comes it was 15 drunk?
One.
Yeah.
You must have had 1 extra.
Not 14 or 16. How did the 15 work?
The thing is, well, that delirium that you're talking about comes in about 330 bottles, doesn't it, normally? So if you're having a pint of that stuff, wow. I mean, they do 2/3 in a lot of the craft sort of places, don't they? You can have 2/3. I always, what do you want to? Nah, just give me a pint. 2/3? Nah. I want a pint, you know what I mean?
Sometimes they won't sell it in the bigger amounts, but actually in Lille, all of the beers, there was nothing weaker than 5%. All of the beers were strong beers.
Much stronger half the time.
And he said, well, they probably, when they're the really strong ones, only serve you the smaller amount.
Yeah, which they do.
And I looked on the board.
You could get a litre.
And I was like, no, Paul, they will sell you a litre of this really super strength beer. And they're like, yeah, go and enjoy yourself, have it.
Crazy, wasn't it?
But you know, all them taps with all the elephants all the way along, was every one of them a delirium beer?
It was different beers, wasn't it?
There were different beers.
Like I had a Weizenbier, which was a local beer, which was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah,
wow.
They had their own beers.
They had all
and then
different
of other
types
beers,
of delirium as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
You've got to remember some of them deliriums are 10%. Remember that was that was the small, quiet delirium bar. That was in the old town. The main delirium bar, the one I put the picture up of.
That massive one.
Yeah, that's in the city centre. We didn't go that far.
That was just a smaller one, and the decoration in there, the attention to detail was just fabulous.
That was the little bar.
Yeah, because when I seen that picture, so I'd seen what you'd filmed inside the bar and everything. As you went round showing the bottles and all that, I thought that looks amazing. And then when you seen the picture of that, I thought, is that the outside of it? That looks massive, but that was a different one. Then that was a
big one.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's not quite. If you look at the text of that one, I said it's not quite the bar that's on the front.
Right, I'm going to get this saison out because
exactly what
I know you guys have got another appointment. So I want to talk. I want you to talk me through this one as well when I find it.
Right. Yeah,
I actually do really like. Oh, I've got another glass now. So I don't want to put it in that same glass. That sour, Michelle, has literally opened my taste buds up to a new, proper good style of beer. And it's warm in here, and it's even made my cheeks a bit red.
Sometimes for people, they're a little bit hard to get into because it is a little bit of shock to your system to have that sour bite to a beer. I'm one of these people who kind of likes the weird and wonderful. The first one we ever tried was Goose Willis, and it was Brew York. And I'd never heard of a sour beer before. And we tried it in a bar in Stratford in London. And didn't have a sour beer. And I looked at Paul and he said to me, yeah, is it a beer that's gone off? Has it got sour apples in it or something? That was our initial response. But we really liked it from the off, didn't we?
I've got the wheat beer next here. You know, the standard Weizen, which
St. Clement's.
St. Clement's.
I'm really looking forward forward to that. I am really looking forward to that.
Oh, that started my love, and I've got the same one myself.
See, look, this is a
Working
good saison. Oh, sorry, this is a good saison beer, isn't it? 'Cause the carbonation in that.
The
Sorry,
worst
Paul.
thing
What was
is,
you saying?
after I've finished these, I've got to use my perfect draft machine, and it's the only time when I'm on a downer when I start on it.
Yeah, it is. Once you start on the Hackney Church, you kind of just want to keep drinking them, don't you?
Yeah.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that is. I poured that aggressive to start with. That's probably a bad pour on my part, but I know that saison beers can be quite carbonated,
Quite
can't
mildly.
they? So,
Yeah, they
oh
can
my
be.
goodness me. Do you know what? I do like a saison. I've not had many, but I like the whole concept of the beer as well. You know, it was this. I think the saison has changed over the years. It used to be like a low ABV beer brewed for the field workers, didn't it? And it was like their food. So I'm led to believe, anyway. And
Well, we got talking of low ABVs. I still haven't reviewed it. We got their table beer. Now the reason that we got that, I was like Jacob.
Yeah, but you've got to get the actual name of it.
Yeah, 2.8%. It's not for me.
Yeah, that's what I kept saying to him.
I said, I'm not
like,
being
no,
funny. And they gave us a little sample of it.
He said, you've got to try it. Don't be put off.
And it was like,
it's a low ABV. Try it.
We called it the convent's younger
Covenant's
little brother,
because it had the same bloody amazing taste to it, the same hoppiness.
I've never had a beer that low ABV.
I expected it to be watery, and I said to him, 2.8. I really wasn't. I thought it was going to be watery, and it wasn't. There was so much flavour there.
Lucky, wasn't
it? Yeah.
I wouldn't drink it until she'd had a bit, because I thought, I'm not upsetting him. I'm going to say, no, I'm not really into that.
Did you have to drink it right in front of him as well? Did he give it you and say,
drink
it?
Oh.
Would you have been honest? If it was rubbish, would you have been honest? Would you have gone,
Always.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you?
Always. If I wasn't feeling, I would have said.
You've got to. It's only, he knows it's only constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Like with the cherry bit one, wasn't it? I'd still love that. But for him, I said that was his weakest link, wasn't it?
Yeah, lovely. Because you didn't find that sour enough for you.
Yeah, but that was just, constructive criticism. I always say it to him in a way.
And that's personal opinion as well.
Yeah, which is obviously personal opinion.
I'll tell you what one, the stout with the raspberries in it.
Oh, yeah, that summer stout. Have you done that again?
Oh, my goodness.
Mate, that was a cracker, wasn't it?
The amount of fruit, actual real fruit that went into that as well.
Mm.
So I think Jane would like that, because she doesn't really like the sort of, I love a coffee stout as long as the coffee side of things is good. If it's like a real, sorry Brewdog, but like I don't like the black heart. I think the coffee taste in that is so astringent.
That really killed me, that drink. I had to give them away, didn't I?
Oh, it's so astringent. But like I had Audi do a coffee stout. I've just bought another one, £1.79, and it's just called their coffee stout. And the coffee in it is beautiful. It's got so many lovely malty tastes. It's so balanced and lovely and nice.
Yeah.
You just don't. It's like even with a cup of coffee, you don't want a coffee that just tastes like all that astringent, horrible, bitter coffee taste. It wants to be smooth, doesn't it? But but the stout with a raspberry in, or what did you say he had in, like some dark fruits and things?
Yeah, it was a raspberry summer stout. And
the thing was, he was explaining to us, wasn't he, about everything, the cost, because obviously they won't use tiny rebel stuff, should we say?
The concentrate.
They don't use the concentrate.
They use proper fruit.
It's got to be fresh fruit, and he said he had to shop around to get so many kilograms of raspberries, because he said the price is
and he
crazy.
said the prices are going up and up as I'm still looking around, because prices of fruit are just going up anyway. He said it was a blooming nightmare to get the amount of fruit that he needed.
I think if you start using like concentrates or things like that, it gets a bit too sweet. It's a bit like if you have a peach, a natural peach, but when we were kids, like I'd have the peach in the syrup. Like, you remember the tin peach? I don't know.
Syrup.
I don't think you two are probably as old as I am, but like,
I'm probably around your age, I would say.
I don't like to guess people's ages, but I'm not
I
that
could
young
even be
anymore.
older than you.
Go on then. How old do you think I am? Go on.
I don't like guessing people's ages.
Don't worry, you'll never offend me. Honestly, I've got like these little
Right.
kiddie rosy red cheeks. Look, I wear glasses now.
Yeah, I wear glasses. Oh, I haven't got any. Well, sometimes I wear glasses. Well, so does
Yeah, I
Michelle,
do it for
actually.
this. Otherwise I can't.
How old would I say you are? You know your stuff. So I know you know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say between my age and 50, and I'm 45. So
I say he's nearer my age than yours. And I'm 52, 53, and I'm 52. 53 this year.
1970,
Yeah,
so,
from 11th of December.
yeah.
Well, Paul, you must have had. I must have had a much more of a harder paper round than you, because I'm the same age. I'm 53.
Hell,
Look, you ain't got all these like wrinkles here. Look, Paul. You know, you're really fresh looking.
you, mate.
Really
Let me get
Yeah, I was just saying, we sat back quite far back.
Oh, it's funny, isn't it? It's really funny. People say guess your age. It's like really funny. But no, I think when I'm at work, a lot of the young lads can't believe that I'm 53 because I act like a bloody idiot. You know what I mean? I don't act like a 53-year-old.
Well, they never believe, because Michelle, they'll never believe her age. And then I tell them my age, and they're like, "You're a funny guy." And because I've been joking about things, they think I'm doing a wind up. I'm like, "She's 45. I'm in my 50s," and they're like, "Yeah, this is good, funny. How old are you really?" And I'm like, "The year the people split up."
I thought I was a lot older. I must admit.
I was going to say, you see, nearer to my age and your age.
I must admit, as you get on in years, I still feel like a young kid in my head, though. I still find it hard to believe I'm 45.
I worry. You know, it's like I've done my shoulder in, and it don't
you've got
come easy.
Rotary cuff
I've got a rotary cuff injury. And obviously,
you've got
because of
what have you done?
a rotary cuff injury. So anytime I lift anything up, or I like if I put my arm around Michelle now like that, you can't stretch like you can. I'm left-handed, so it's not so bad. But I saw the doctor a couple of weeks ago, and she said, unfortunately, with your age, you could be looking at a year to this to get back to normal. And sometimes I'm just laying there, and I'm like, like I just stretch off, and I lean out like that, and I've got to stop leaning out. But it's just a natural reaction. Like say we're having a vape, and we share a vape. I'll say to Michelle, "Oh, here, I'm giving her the vape,"
and
that's
lean
it.
over, and that's it.
So yeah, that's old age. But do you know what? As I say, only recently in France, I wouldn't want to be younger. I've seen the 80s. I was a crazy George Michael Jackson fan. You know.
Some great music from those times.
Yeah. I mean, the 80s were the best time to be alive, weren't they?
Absolutely. And when you say about Michael Jackson and George Michael, I remember, like, my brothers are huge. I mean, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and my brother is when someone's really, really, they have all the memorabilia and they do the research. Yeah. And I remember I was working in Ireland, and we got in bed at about sort of like 12:05 in the morning, or 12 o'clock, right at midnight, and my phone started going off, and it was my brother. And I thought to myself, oh my word, what's going on? And he rings me up. He said, "Have you heard the news? Have you put the news on?" It was when Jacko died. And he was absolutely shocked. And I mean, I was like, "Oh my God." And it was a shock. Yeah, my brother, because he looked fantastic when he was doing all them rehearsal shows and that.
Well, I was in tears and everything, wasn't I?
It was, like I said, it was really shocking.
I can remember with his court case, when we were one of the houses at the point that had a TV on the wall. Do you know, a plasma TV when Jackson was in court? And Michael got off, obviously, because he didn't do it. And I drank 3 bottles of champagne that night, and I was wrecked for days, wasn't I? And everyone was walking past our house, stopping, watching the screen with Jackson in court and everything. But that
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't watch any of it because I just thought, this guy's amazing, and I just couldn't believe, like, what was going on.
We've had a few debates about it on the channel, and as soon as it gets talking about Jackson, I always say to people, I'd rather not go down that road, because it divides a lot, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But the problem I always feel is people give an opinion, without knowing the facts. And we read the book. I was going to actually go to Vegas to meet this woman, wasn't I?
Yeah.
That was writing a book, that had written a book that we read that got burnt in our fire, didn't we? On Jackson.
I read lots of literature, lots of books, watched lots of programs and everything else. And for sure, Michael Jackson had a really, really difficult upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably weird, but then,
it was really difficult. There were lots of things that went on in his life that made him slightly different from everyone else. But there again, he was always going to be different. He was this mega talented child star, so he was always going to be different from everybody else and see things in a different way.
Yeah.
But that didn't make him guilty of the crimes that he was accused of.
The trouble is, you look at stardom does people in. I mean, look at George Michael, another example.
Yeah.
I mean, when George died, we were in Australia on our dream holiday, and obviously it was Boxing Day, and George Michael died, and I was like, oh, that's my life over. It's like, George is dead. I'm like, I've had enough. And like, even my daughter was meant to be a boy, my first child here, she's named Georgia.
She was
George Michael.
She was called Georgie.
So,
I must admit, you see lots of people that die, and it goes. I mean, I don't do Facebook anymore, but it's all like that. Rest in peace. This, rest in peace. That, rest. It's like someone dies. It's just a big thousands and thousands of people. Rest in peace. And I never, because I think, well, I don't know the person. I didn't know who they were or whatever. But when George Michael died, well, when Jacko died, it was the same thing. Whoa, what a loss! And when George Michael died as well, I actually felt a real sense of loss because I felt like he was somebody I wanted to see. I wanted to go and see, and I thought I'm never going to get that chance now because And then you find out that he was such a charitable bloke as well, and he didn't shout out.
He was such an intelligent, articulate man with such a kind soul that a lot of people never ever. He didn't want people to know he was doing these kind things for other people. He just did them because he wanted to make other people's lives better. And it was such a shame that he carried around such a tortured soul.
Yeah. If you look at my Instagram and you go back to the day George died, you'll see me and I've wrote "I love you, George" on the beach in Australia. I sat there with a bottle of champagne, bloody crying my eyes out like a little baby. It was like George. I was always. I had 2 earrings because of George and everything. And everyone said I'd grow out of it as a kid.
Wasn't there?
And it's like,
the thing is, bro, like with me, we both still kids at heart, ain't we? So let's never grow out of anything, eh? It's not worth it. It's not worth getting. It's not worth growing up, is it?
No,
growing up's for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to really change the subject quick, this saison, you can really get that Belgium-y yeast, that banana-y sort of clovey, proper good Belgium yeast smell out of that and taste.
If I'm being really fair, I'm trying to conjure up the taste of that beer in my mind, but I'm struggling because I've had so many. Yeah. I'm really good at describing what I've got in front of me.
One time when we went down there, Liverpool. And again, because when you go down to Hackney Church as well, if there's something that's just ready and they let you have it out of the barrel, which they'll do, won't they? You have it straight out of the tank. You're like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a new experience, isn't it?
But yeah, if you get down there with Janie and that, let us know. And hopefully we'll get down there, have something to eat, have a few beers.
I would
They've
love
got
that.
great food in there. It's a lovely experience all round, isn't it?
Yeah, I sent Hamish the thing, didn't I? When you said about us coming on with you, Hamish was all like, "Yeah, get in there, great to see you two together." So they'll be absolutely buzzing to see this, won't they?
Oh, and well, I sort of wanted to make it a little bit Hackney churchy as well because I just think that's a common interest with you massively. Being friends and like really Hackney Church, and me, I love Hackney Church Brewery. It's one of my favourite. I mean, when I done and I think you've done it as well, the Desert Island beers with ale and audio. I really wanted to. There was different breweries I wanted to bring in, but I just thought as my favourite brewery, I had to say Everard's being my local brewery. I just thought I've got to I've got to
Yeah, no,
sort of like. If I didn't like their beers and I thought their beers were rubbish and horrible or whatever, but they're really trying to do some of these craft beers. They're not as great as all the rest. Probably far from it, but they're doing well. They're getting there, and they're starting to bring out some great. I mean, there's sometimes 16 beers on, you know. But Hackney Church are absolutely one of my absolute favourite breweries. They just do it. Well, they're just about now doing every style of beer, isn't there? You know.
Yeah, it's lovely for me to hear that other people are enjoying the same beers as much as what I am, because you sometimes think, is that just me? No, it can't just be me, because I know these beers are fantastic. Yeah. But when you hear other people say it, you get that kind of like, yeah.
Like with Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, we've met Mark a couple of times. He's a fantastic
lovely guy.
I know, obviously, you had a few family.
You met Mark. So who's Mark? Who's Mark? Did you say Mark? Did you?
Yeah, Mark, who you saw his Halo review.
Yeah.
We met him a couple of times in London, haven't we? I think we met Mark with Simon, didn't we? If I recall, I can't remember now, because I remember we met Mark before Simon, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he's so laid back. He's an absolute Germany.
See, I just love the fact that I didn't mean to start this channel. I didn't mean to start the channel. I was watching. I like Guinness, and I watched the Guinness Nitro Surge cap come out. So I went and bought it, and I thought, I need to watch some reviews on it to see what people think. And I'd read the instructions and I'd used it, and I thought, this is fantastic. And I was watching reviews on it, thinking, oh my God, they're doing it all wrong. They're turning it on again for the second time. And did you? I didn't watch your review. I didn't watch your review.
It wasn't working.
Someone said,
charged it.
I didn't charge it or turn it on. And I'm like, really
I'll have to look back. Hopefully, it wasn't. It was. Hopefully, I don't think I've seen you guys doing it. I'm going to do a review of it. I thought I'm just going to do it myself on YouTube. My daughter said, "Yeah, just do it." And literally, it went bonkers. I thought, wow. So then I thought, I'll do another beer, another chat. But I didn't really think I was going to do reviews. I didn't think I knew that much enough about beer to do it. But then I look back, and that's sort of had about 18,500 views now, and I can't believe it. But then I got sort of like watching Simon, and I got watching Simon and Mark and Crumbly Beard, Tom, and you guys. I mean, you guys are a bit more recent, if you know what I mean. So you discover people, don't you? In the Beer Monster, and
Adam. Do you know Adam? Adam lives around the corner. We still haven't met up.
We need to meet up with him.
He lives around the corner.
Adam lives obviously he's got the kids and he's really busy.
He's got a very busy family life. So
he comes on our live again, and he's just started doing his own, funny enough, hasn't he? In the last week. But really Adam literally lives 4 miles away. And obviously we've got to sort something out with Adam. Adam's just classical.
Yeah,
isn't he?
definitely.
He makes me roll with laughter. He does. He really does. But when he was doing the Oktoberfest beers, because I went through that doing all my silly acting, I dressed up as a bloody woman and everything.
Oh no! For the video, I made the film there.
He couldn't get hold of the Augustina one. And I was gutted for him. I was absolutely gutted. And the bottle shop that I know was getting them in, and everybody was trying to get that last one in. So I got a few in, and I sent it to him. I sent him that and a couple other bits. But I sent it to him because I thought, I'm not bothered about myself. You need to be reviewing this beer.
Because I subscribed to you because Adam put a thing up. I remember now.
Yeah.
Adam said thank you about the Oktoberfest beers. Subscribe to my friend. That's how I subscribed to you. And I said, a friend of Adam's a friend of mine. I remember now.
Because I just think nobody's... Sorry, go on. Sorry. Say it again,
I think it's a good community where everyone it kind of comes together. They watch each other's videos, get a little bit of inspiration from each other, and I really like that.
No, that's how it should be, isn't it? It's great.
Yeah.
I remember, because it was Oktoberfest, and Adam shared your page and said, subscribe to my son. Is a friend of Adam's, friend of mine. Bang. That's it. Yeah. Hello, mate. That's probably how it started.
I thought to myself, I might be dressing up as a woman. I might be doing all these silly things. Jenny might be putting makeup all over me and doing that. But there's probably going to have 10 views. Whereas Adam, when he does the Oktoberfest beer, is going to have 300-400 views or whatever. And I just thought for him to not have that last beer was just, it gutted me because I loved watching his review. I sort of like do my own review and then I go and watch the professionals do it, if you know what I mean. And I think, have I done a good job of it? Have I explained it okay? And
I used to watch. You see,
don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, I used to get influenced.
You're a beer drinker. You know what you like tasting. Don't do that to yourself.
I used to get influenced badly by
you
Simon
will get
and
more
Bazza.
subscribers and things like that. Just because someone's got more subscribers or they've been about a little bit longer doesn't make them any more of a professional than you. We're all just sitting here. We're just people who enjoy beer.
Yeah.
And we talk and explain about the beer. It doesn't make any of us professionals. I think we're all kind of just people who enjoy beer. Telling other people about it.
The main,
you shouldn't do that.
The main professional, Simon, because he's done it for 14 years.
Yeah.
And his inspiration, like when we went on a pub crawl with him, was like, oh, God, this man's just drinking for fun. And that, innit? And it's like, he's like, I've got to do a shout out. I'm like, don't worry about my channel. You worry about yourself, mate. I'm all right. And it's like with a lot of them with us, they'll subscribe to us because we're real. You know, we'll have a massive argument on camera.
We've had Barney's on camera.
And like, people are like, you want to delete that? I'm like, yeah, but that's real.
It's not a business for us.
I love your chemistry. I love your chemistry. It's
endearing. Yeah, we're with each other all day, every day. At some points, we fall out. And you have a thing go on YouTube, and they're like, "You're in trouble tonight," and I'm like, "That's all right. I'll sleep on the sofa. I don't care. The dog's all right."
Well, I loved it. I loved it when you was walking, I think, from your hotel to the Eurostar, and you said, Paul, you said something like, "Oh, the case is really heavy," or something, because I've got to get a load of beer in here to please the wife or something. And I thought normally it's the other way around, like I've got to get some beer in here to please the old boy or something like that. And I thought that's fantastic. I thought like when you've got to please your wife by buying her a load of beer. And that's why I love that Jane's got into the stouts, because normally I'd have a beer, she'd have a gin. But now she's trying all these different stouts. I'm thinking, oh, wow, fantastic.
That is an amazing thing to be able to get into. I'm only really just dipping my toe in the water trying stouts. But yeah.
See, one day they'll be doing a joint review. Two women.
Wonderful. There's so much to talk about, so much flavour.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
definitely.
It's a massive channel. YouTube is a good place to be at the moment, isn't it? There has been issues that obviously I'm not going to talk about with people, nothing to do with us.
That's always human nature. There's always going to be fallings out.
But now YouTube's a friendly place again, isn't it? And people are having a laugh. There's more and more people collaborating as well, which is all about. You know, it's a bit of fun.
I do love all that.
I get it with Simon because it's his job.
And I love the way that you said that. About Adam sending him the beer.
Yeah, Adam.
I think that's so wonderful. That is so. Oh, that really, really touched my heart because I feel like that.
Well, he's keeping meaning to come here for a Kronenberg Blanc to try it, doesn't he? But every time he don't get here, now I'm like, I've drunk them all again. That just happens, doesn't it?
He has a big family. He's really busy with his family. I think he does a lot of big beer reviews and things.
We will get together with Adam and do a joint live or something.
We have to, definitely.
It's a funny thing because Adam does beer reviews every single day, and so does Simon. It's almost like you don't have to watch him every single day or watch him. I tried to catch up on everybody's video, your guys' video, you pairs videos and everybody's videos. I hate it when I've got no service at work. I'm in a tin can at work at dinner time or whatever, and I've got no service. I can't catch up. And but I just know if I think, oh, I wonder what other people think of this beer, I can search it, and I know Simon's going to be reviewed it, or Beer Monster's going to be reviewed it. You probably reviewed it. Some of my favourite beer reviewers, Crummy Beard, are going to have reviewed it, and I can look at it, and we're just everybody's always there to have a look. But like you say, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's all subjective. What it is, it's about describing the beer, and then people going, "I like the description of that beer. I'm going to try that beer," And
and then when they like it, it makes you feel good. When they don't like it, then you've got. We put up a really subjective review today. It's a stellar review when Michelle's blindfolded with the
the blind test. I've not watched it yet. I've seen it.
And we're getting a little bit of shit from a few people on there, but it was always going to be one of them. But it's just an honest review.
I'm always
you know?
honest. I will say it exactly as it is. What I have in front of me in the glass is what I'm going to talk about. And
it proved the point.
If I'm trying something side by side and it tastes very similar, I'm going to say it tastes very similar. I'm not viewed by public opinion or anything else. I literally do it by what's in front of me.
Yeah, we could have cheated it.
Really appreciated as well, and that's why I love when you describe a beer. I love it, and even if I got that exact same beer and didn't quite, I just know that the way you describe the beer, I can think that's right up my street, and I like that. And then I'll get the beer, and I think, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. I can taste that. I've got it. You know, for me, I think Michelle, you really, really know you. I mean, you do as well, Paul. But I think if I would say, Paul, would you say that who knows the stuff more, you or your good lady wife? Would you say?
I hate to say it because Mal are always right. But Michelle is more expanded. There's a lot of things that she likes that I don't like, if that makes sense.
A particular beer that we tried today that had an aniseed taste, and I was describing it as Speno, which obviously he didn't know what that was. And I wish I'd actually described it as aniseed, because that's the reason why he was liking it. Despite there being flavours in there I didn't think he would like, he particularly liked that, and I thought I should have expanded on it. You always afterwards you think I could have expanded on that a little bit more.
It's human nature, isn't it? You do it, and then you've stopped the camera and like, oh, I could have said that. And we tried to know because we changed, didn't we? Yeah. With the beers, you know, when you've said your bit and you don't like it or you really like it, then you drink the rest of it after and you think, oh, I've got that wrong.
Sometimes a beer is a grower. You can get into it by having 3 or 4 pints of it, and then you're thinking, no, actually, I've really enjoyed this little mini session I've had on this drink. It weren't great to begin with, but it's really grown on me. The flavours have developed.
Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. You know, you'll do a beer review and then you'll crack another one open because you liked it, and then you think, oh my god, I wish I'd have said that about it because now I'm discovering something else in it. And this is why I think anybody that loves beer is a great beer reviewer, because we're all, you know, what you say about beer, what I say about beer, what Paul says about beer. It's always subjective, isn't it? It's always subjective. Definitely. Anyway, I'm looking at the time, and I think you've got.
I've got a message.
I'm getting a little bit worried because
I said we'll be shortly.
Those won't stop waffling.
But no, anyway, mate, that's been great.
An absolute pleasure. This has been an absolutely wonderful way to spend an hour. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you. I've loved it. You're a lovely couple. I love your chemistry on your YouTube channel and everything you do. I think it is brilliant. I really do. And right, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah. And soon, I hope we're going to do a guest on one of our lives.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Honestly,
you have to do that sometime, definitely.
Get on
and
there.
Let us know when you're in London. If you make it down to that neck of the woods, let us know. We'd love to meet up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be brilliant. Right, guys, you take care. Go and do what you got to do, and don't leave Simo waiting any longer. And cheers to Hackney Church.
Cheers. Yeah. Take care.
Cheers, Hackney Church.
See you then.
Till next time. Bonjour, mate. Bonjour.
Bonjour. See you guys. That was absolutely brilliant. You be good.
You, mate. And you, mate.
See you, Michelle. Bye.